we can discuss benefits of multi-tenant architecture, we need to understand uh, what are the challenges we have in the prior to 12c when you have a non-CDB database. So normally you will create and host one database in one server. Now because of now we're getting very powerful servers, a lot of CPUs, a lot of memory, and faster disk storage. So I your company, most of this big company will have a lot of small database also. It's like some 20 GB, 50 GB, 100 GB, 200 GB database, which is not very uh, critical, doesn't use a lot of resources, and 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 doesn't create a lot of issues and problems for the DBA. But it has to be managed, and we cannot create share this database with other database. Like you cannot create like multiple schema to host all this database in one database, all this small database in one database, because that then comes the security and data breach problem. If you have multiple, let's say I would say these are all small database, I want to store them in one database in multiple schema in non-CDB configuration, then there is a high chance of data breach, because a user from one schema maybe possibly can get access to the data in other schema. And then there is the problem of uh, downtime, because if you want to do a maintenance on the database and you have five schema created for five different applications, you need to get an approval from all of them, and some application will not be happy to share their data, to host their data in the same database where others have. And that lot of problems. Normally people in enterprise environment, DBS don't do mix the data in one database. So other option is you can have uh, create one server and host multiple database. But then uh, but then again the problem comes for the again if there's a server maintenance, you have to get approval from lot of applications. Some application may not be okay to host the database with others. And even if you do it like you want to maximize optimize the resources in a server, and you put multiple database in a server, but you still have to patch each of these database, upgrade each of the database, configure backup and recoveries scenario for them. And for production database, you need, if some cases you need to set up standby and DR procedures. So each database has to be managed separately. Even if it is a very small database, all the maintenance work has to be done separately, and it takes a lot of DBA's time. And of course, uh, the management and the housekeeping activity, and it takes a lot of DBA's time. So this is where the multi-tenant architecture can help you. And I've seen in some like big machines like Exadata, we have hosted really big critical database as PDB, which is taking a lot of resources, CPU, memory, and resources, but still big. These are big servers, so it can manage. So the benefits is cost reduction. As I said, in terms of you can is a consolidation strategy, that you consolidate multiple database into under one container database CDB in a multi-tenant architecture, and you may not have to purchase many server now, because now you can, instead of hosting this individual database in each server, you can consolidate them in one container database. Easier and more rapid movement of data, because of I said is you can very easy just one command to unplug and plug it another container. And Easier management and monitoring a physical database. It's just one container database you need to monitor. You don't have to do all different kind of monitoring for each PDBs. Separation of data and code. Each PDB is separate entity as far as the application and the end user is concerned. So there is no way one user in one PDB can access the data in other PDBs. You have to create a database link like the way you used to do before in non-CDB. Secure separation of administrative duties. If you want, you can have a senior lead DBA taking care of only this container database CDB, and the junior database can take care of the pluggable database PDBs. And each data DBA now can handle more PDBs than they used to handle non-CDBs. Let's say there's one DBA is handling, let's say 10 CD non-CDB database. Now they can handle maybe 15 or 20 PD pluggable database. Because pluggable database doesn't need a lot of maintenance and management. You just need to just take care of the user management and permissions and table space, and that's with all the instance level maintenance, backup, recovery, patching. Everything happens at the container level, container database CDB level. Ease of performance tuning. You have to do this memory optimization, is setting SGAs and lot of memory parameter settings at the instance level. So you don't have to do now. You don't have to monitor each database and tune the performance for each individual database. Fewer database patches and upgrade. As I said, instead of patching 10 database, now you have to patch only one container database. And there are some more benefits in terms of manageability. As I said, easier upgrade of data and code, and you can just unplug to a lower version and plug into a higher version. Easier migration between server is same as unplugging and plugging. Protection against data correction within a PDB. So you can have, this is a protection against data corruption within a PDB. So you can create a restore point and flashback in a PDB, and you can go back, you can roll back just one PDB in point in time. You can go back just for one PDB without affecting other PDBs. So there's a data corruption you have just for at the PDB level. Install, administer, and upgrade application specific data and metadata in a single space. This is related to the application root container, where if I need to upgrade my application and also at the same time upgrade the database side or database component of the application upgrade, I just, and if it involves just the schema structure, I'm adding some more tables to the applications, then I can just do one upgrade at the application root container. I don't have to do I don't have to upgrade each individual application. So this is just one upgrade if you're using application root container. Integration with Oracle Database Resource Manager. You can have a resource manager to control, limit how much CPU and resources can be used by each PDB. So one PDB should not start taking up using all the memory and CPU allocated for the DBA for the entire container database. So you can have some limits based using the resource manager. Yep, that's all about the overview of multi-tenant architecture. In the next video, we'll talk about how to create it, how to manage PDBs, how different ways of creating it, and much more. So that's all for today. Thank you. Bye bye.